aspirational, so AspireEyewear.com. There is a dealer locator where they can search for someone who carries the collection. I believe currently we have about 1,800 dealers across the country, so wherever you have a listener, we should have a dealer, and they've all been trained to work with the product. It's an easy product for them to work with. One thing I forgot to mention, which I think was important as it relates to golf, because a lot of people said this, the product doesn't slip. And, it's not just golf. It could be golf or it could be yoga. The eyewear today tends to slip because it's a little heavier and it may not be perfect fit for your face. Aspire eyewear does not slip. It doesn't move. It's so lightweight, yet it stays on your face. And I think, especially for golfers, people on the go, that's a very important thing. You can't have distractions with glasses slipping wherever you would go when you're on the move.
Well, especially when you're sweating.
It's a great feature of the product.
Yeah. Here in Florida, when we're playing golf, we're sweating as well, so they tend to move. So that's great to know. Your website, one more time for everybody?
Sure. It's Aspire, ASPIRE, eyewear.com.
And thank you so much, Peter, for joining us. I think our listeners will really like this product. I've tried them out. I recommend them. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for the recommendation, and I appreciate the talk tonight, and have a great weekend.
Thank you. Same to you. All right, that was Peter Friedfeld, founder of Aspire Eyewear, and what we're going to do is we're going to take one more quick break, and then we will be talking to Dr. Bob Willix, and he is the CEO president of Enlightened Living, so we could all learn how to live a more enlightened life. We'll be back in just a minute. Stay tuned for more of the Golf and Travel Show.
Cinderella story, out of nowhere, a former greenskeeper now about to become the Masters champion.
It looks like I'm a wreck. It's in the hole!
I rap fly, call me chocolate thunder, and I got good to go 4 strokes under. Get out the way if you wanna go play, cause I give it my all every single day.
Have a lot of cash cause I sink my parts. Stack some stuff.
And we are back in time for one more quick message from our sponsor, Labor Finders. If your business needs industrial workers or if you're looking for work, you gotta call Labor Finders, because Labor Finders places temporary or for temporary to hire opportunities for skilled, semi-skilled, or general labor positions such as plumbers, electricians, concrete workers, forklift operators, office clerical workers, hospitality workers, and much, much more. Labor Finders has almost 200 offices nationwide. Near here in Boca Raton, they have offices in Homestead, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, and in Jupiter. So if you need legal, insured hard workers, or if you're looking for work, call Labor Finders toll free at 800-864-7749. That's 800-864-7749, or just visit laborfinders.com. And we are back. And, these days, as I get on in my years and people I talk to, everybody's got different ailments. They go to the doctor, they get all sorts of Band-Aids, they get sent home with a bottle full of pills and 15 or 20 different kinds of them, and they take them and they try and feel better. And they're kind of searching for something new. And more doctors are trying to find alternative ways to treat people so that perhaps they get to the crux of the problem, make them feel better. And it seems that our guest today is doing something similar to that. He's done more conventional stuff in the past, and now he's tired of that approach and is trying to find a way to make people feel better and feel well and enjoy life like they should. So find out a little bit more about what's going on at Enlightened Living right here in Boca Raton. We've got our guest, Dr. Robert Willix, and he's the CEO, president of Enlightened Living. Dr. Willix, are you there?
I am here. Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us. And I guess you're probably no more than a 3-iron away from us here in Boca, so it's nice to have a local guy on the air with us. And now, why don't you tell us a little bit about your beginnings before you came here to Boca Raton and started this practice, which perhaps takes a little bit of a different look at healthcare. But back in the day, you were doing some more normal stuff, perhaps. I wouldn't say normal, but different, perhaps. Why don't you explain what it was all about?
Normal, but I
nothing is normal about medicine.
I was a surgeon and was doing open heart surgery until 1981 when I came to Florida to actually change my career and take a more proactive approach to health and look at the benefits of preventive medicine. So I've actually been practicing preventive medicine for many years, and I really believe that the future of medicine is to teach people how to stay healthy and prevent the onset of chronic illnesses, which has been my life's mission. Teach people how to become more healthy, and there's many, many ways they can do that. And so I started, after I left cardiovascular surgery, looking for ways to make people stay healthy. And that's really the way I've position my career, and Enlightened Living Medicine is about looking at your health from a different perspective.
Okay, now you've set up a program, how you can identify, I suppose, what people need or what's bothering them, and then how to treat it. And I know you've got several different phases or steps. So why don't you just kind of give us a brief outline on if somebody just isn't feeling right, or if they are feeling right and they want to make sure that they continue to feel right, what might happen when they walk into your office? What kind of steps do you take?
Well, we would first ask them what their goals and objectives are, what it is that they're not feeling right about. We spend a lot of time with our patients investigating their history and what they have done in the past. And my initial assessment would be to outline a plan for them. It may include special blood tests that they wouldn't normally get. It may include looking at their fitness level through by measuring their oxygen consumption, their body fat by measuring their total body fat, not just skin calipers, but we use a machine called the DEXA scanner, and then looking at their nutrition. And then we would sit down with them after we've had their blood work, their VO2, which is a bicycle test, and go over all the results and then outline a program for them. And then they get to participate in the program on an ongoing basis. So it's a very individualized, I call it personalized integrative medicine.
So, the kinds of what typical kinds of things do you see? I mean, that people come in that you've had success in treating?
Well, I think the most common thing that we see is people just are they're over medicated. First of all, they're treating their type 2 diabetes without proper nutrition. They have what we call metabolic syndrome, which is a metabolic imbalance. So I would say that energy is the number one reason that they come to see us, to improve their overall energy and the way they feel. But we also see people with significant illnesses such as heart disease, and since I'm a former cardiovascular surgeon, it's one of my areas of expertise. But, we have a nutrition program called Transformation 360, and Transformation 360 is about teaching people how to use how to use food, not buying supplements or taking prepared meals, but how to eat properly and how they can reverse and or prevent the onset of type 2 diabetes, which, as you know, is an epidemic in the United States. So the Transformation 360 program is about teaching people, how do I eat in a restaurant? What do I eat? And showing them on an ongoing basis. And yes, they do lose weight, but its primary purpose is to teach them you can eat healthy and still live in the world. So you're not having to, stay home all the time and prepare all your meals. You can eat out, you can prepare your meals, and you can find ways to reverse type 2 diabetes and also prevent it. So I think that's energy, is probably the number one benefit that they get when they come to an integrative medicine facility.
Let's talk a little bit about expense, because, a lot of people, I think, that have these diabetes issues, they're eating at fast food places. They have a lot of mouths to feed. It's only $4 or $5 for lunch. What's the cost of buying cheap, bad food perhaps, versus paying more money? Because I know, like, healthcare costs, my deductibles keep going up when I have to get medication, when I do have to visit a doctor. So even things that are covered by insurance, it seems like I'm spending more and more money. But people seem to be hesitant to do healthy things because healthy things sometimes cost a little bit more.
I think that's absolutely true, that healthy things cost a little bit more. But on the other hand, I don't make it so prohibitive that you have to only eat organic. That would be ideal, no question about it. But I think you can shop in a normal health food. You can shop healthy in a normal supermarket. And I always say to people, if you look at every supermarket layout in the United States, the center of the supermarket is what I call the square pig. Stay out of the square pig. There's nothing in there your body needs. Everything is on the periphery, so that you find everything you need on the periphery of the supermarket. And once you step into the square pig, you're going into foods that are processed and all of the things. So just stay out of the square pig is a way to start their nutritional journey.
Well, that's certainly good to understand. How about as far as fluids and liquids? I mean, we live here in Florida, and obviously it's hot, it's humid, we're very active, we're outside. What's the effect of not consuming enough of the appropriate fluids or drinking too much sugary sodas, things like that? What effect does that have?
Well, obviously, sugary sodas not only affect you in the fact that they have a diuretic effect, so they take water out of your body, but the other thing is sugary sodas also are inflammatory. So you want to concentrate on water rather than sugary sodas. And we live in a hot environment, and you need to be hydrated well. So a good rule of thumb is 8 to 10 glasses of water, and then through activity, when you're exercising, it's about 8 to 16 ounces every 20 minutes, whether you're playing tennis outside or you're riding a bike, or even if you're in a swimming pool and you're swimming laps, 8 to 16 ounces of water is the recommendation for the American College of Sports Medicine for keeping your body hydrated. And dehydration is a major problem for the elderly. It's a problem that can raise their blood pressure, and at the same time, they can develop low blood pressure when they stand up. So hydration is very important, but water is the major nutrient in the body, so hydration with water is key.
And the other thing I would have to believe that would be important in a regimen like you might suggest would be exercise as well?
No question about it. We write exercise programs based on their current level of fitness. So we do a fitness evaluation, measuring their ability, how much oxygen they consume, and it's a very sophisticated test. And then we write an exercise program for them. But the surprising thing is you don't need to, in the old days we used to teach long, slow distance activity, go for a walk for, an hour. Today we're talking about doing interval training, which is safe for almost everybody to do, even people with heart disease or people who are overweight, but the right interval, so something your body can handle, and then 20 to 25 minutes of exercise several days a week is all you really need to keep yourself fit. I always have a rule that says up until the age of 50, you want to be as aerobically fit as possible. After the age of 50, you need to start incorporating strength training and flexibility. Things like yoga and stretching are very important in your health because they prevent the major causes that are creating imbalances, loss of muscle mass, which happens as we age. So maintain muscle mass, you need to go to the gym and work out, or you need to do something to use your body weight to keep yourself muscularly healthy.
So there's no magic pill that we could take, is what you're saying?
No, there's no magic pill, but I think one of the things that we do realize is that your hormones do change as you age, And I think hormone optimization is very important for people as they grow older, and sometimes it does require utilization of certain hormones in men and women to maintain normal muscle mass. And that, things like testosterone are becoming more and more recognized as a way to protect your body from the loss of muscle mass. And since the number one cause of debility in the aging population is a fall, we realize that if you're strong, you won't fall. When you're 20 years old and you trip over a curve, you retain your balance. So balance, flexibility, and strength are very important when you get to be 60 or 65 or 70. So it's really important that you concentrate on maintaining muscle mass. And sometimes in today's world, because of the foods we eat and the way we eat, your testosterone levels are low, and in women, their hormone levels need to be rebalanced in order to maintain bone density. So we teach them all those things at Enlightened Living Medicine.
Well, it sounds to me like a great alternative for folks that are listening. If what you're doing hasn't been working, or you're fed up with it, or you're interested in trying a new approach to live a healthier lifestyle and not need cardiac surgery, then hopefully this could be an answer for some of the listeners. So if the folks would like to find out a little bit more about your practice here in Boca Raton, you do have a website, right?
Right. It's EnlightenedLivingMedicine.com, www.EnlightenedLivingMedicine.com. We have a Facebook page, Enlightened Living Medicine, and you can call us directly at 561-362-0724, which is our office number.
Great. Well, hopefully some of our listeners will come on by and be healthier, and that's what we like, so they can travel some more and play golf some more and enjoy life to the fullest. And we appreciate...
Really important, as golfers know, they need to stay fit. All the golfers today are doing aerobic and strength training programs.
Yeah, the day of those beer can curls are over.
The day of the beer can curls are slowing down. They're not over, but they're slowing down.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Willis, for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much for your show.
All right, take care. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to take one last break, and I've saved some travel deals for you, Dan's deals. You don't want to miss them, so stay tuned for more of the Golf and Travel Show. We'll be right back.
So far away, doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? It would be so fine to see your face at my door. Doesn't help to know you're just tired.
And we are back, and some of us like to be far away, some of us like to be closer to home, and that's why we've got travel deals that are far away and close to home. And like we sometimes or typically do, we'll start with the closer to home, and then we'll move on along. One of the places that I like to go to and stay is just on the other side of the state, but it's quite different from this side of the state. Somebody I work with recently went there. It was the first time in a while, and she thoroughly enjoyed it, and that would be Naples, Florida. And on TravelZoo, there is a deal where you could stay waterfront at the Naples Waterfront Hotel. It's right near Fifth Avenue where all the shops and restaurants are, so you're walking distance. It rated 92% of all TravelZoo members enjoyed their stay there. It's the Bayfront Inn on Fifth Avenue, and they've got rooms through October 15th starting at as little as $89 a night. And I believe that also, yes, it includes a $20 breakfast credit as well, and 2 complimentary welcome drinks upon arrival. There are just a couple of blackout dates, and you can upgrade if you want a bay view room. So for $109, you get a water view room, which is pretty cool. And Naples, while obviously peak season is in the winter, it's extremely expensive in the winter. It's very crowded, but if you go this time of year, you may be lucky and get a nice breeze off of the Gulf. The beaches are beautiful and uncrowded, and the beautiful boutiques on Fifth Avenue have great sidewalk sales and other sales. So the stuff that might be a little bit beyond your budget in season, they mark down in the summer months, and you can get some great deals. And the same thing with the restaurants. They do have some specials, and they got some great restaurants. So check out TravelZoo for this deal, and I do not believe it has an expiration date. You just got to get it before it is gone. I would not wait. Another place that I kind of drove past this time but didn't get a chance to stop at, not too far to the north of us here, up in Charleston, South Carolina. Great town, love it. Also a little bit warm in the summer, but the deals are great. In the peak season, you will pay a fortune. This is a hotel I have not stayed at, but I've heard wonderful things about it. It is called the Vendue. It is also found on TravelZoo. Rated amongst the top 5 small hotels in the United States by Travel and Leisure magazine. I recommend them, or I believe them. If they recommend it, it's got to be good. And typically very, very expensive, but only $169 with this special deal, including a $25 credit to use at their coffee shop. So you basically can get breakfast, or it's also accepted at their rooftop bar, and they throw in complimentary Wi-Fi and complimentary bike rentals. So, and that's good through September 15th, also on TravelZoo. And again, I do not believe that has an expiration date. You just got to hurry up before it is gone. Now, a little bit further away, like I say, I like to kind of go from close to far. This is to go to Panama. 4-star accommodations, 3 nights lodging, flights from Fort Lauderdale. You can fly from elsewhere for a bit extra, but they do have it from Fort Lauderdale via TravelZoo. Great Value Vacations is the vendor. It starts at only $399 per person. That's, remember, 3 nights lodging and airfare. So that's pretty cool. You're staying at a decent place. I believe it's the 4-star Radisson Decapolis Hotel right there in Panama, connected to the largest mall in Central America by a suspended glass walkway. You also get a complimentary glass of sangria when you check in, and they have live music in the hotel lounge. $399 is what you might expect to pay just for the airfare alone. So to get the 3 nights lodging and all those other benefits thrown in is a pretty good deal. Panama City, from what I understand, is quite neat. And you can also get for $99 extra, they'll give you everyday breakfast and a canal tour thrown in. So these are for select dates from September through November. This does expire July 6th, though, so you cannot wait forever. And I recommend you take advantage of it quickly. Pretty cool. The Panama Canal recently had a huge expansion to it as well. So there's a lot going on there. A little bit further away from here in Florida, further from home, we've spoken about this often, something I've not done before, but I would like to do one day, and that would be a European river cruise. And this, again, found on TravelZoo, and select dates in July through December, including some Christmas and summer sailings, which are peak time. One of the lowest prices ever seen by the folks at TravelZoo, starting at $899 per person. And they've got, it's a Riverview cabin for 15 nights. 15 nights for $899. This doesn't include airfare, but still, you're going to be fed. I mean, when you're there, you get all of your meals on board. You get wine and beer with dinner, Wi-Fi, sightseeing tours at every port are included, all for $899 for 15 nights. Actually it's 7 to 15 nights, excuse me. So some of them are shorter, some are longer. Some of the itineraries include classic France on the Seine, that's 7 nights in November. Beaujolais and Provence for 7 nights in November. The Danube River for 8 nights in November and December. Places like Budapest and Bratislava, Vienna. Really neat. Christmas on the Danube for 8 nights. The Best of Burgundy, Gateway to Eastern Europe, Classic Rivers of Europe, you name it. There's a whole bunch of different ones here. For this one, you do have to hurry. You only have until June 29th before it is too late. But there are lots of availability. So starting as little as $899. And remember, that includes most all your meals and alcohol and tours, and that is just an incredible price. And remember, airfare is not included, but to Europe, it's very inexpensive these days. The last deal I have is also to Europe. This does include air. It does include 4-star hotels for 6 nights to Budapest, Vienna, and Prague. $1,299 on TravelZoo via the provider Gate One Travel. Select dates in November and March. Other dates are discounted as well. Prime locations in each city, 2 nights in each city in a 4-star hotel. And again, it includes some Christmas dates, too. You have all the holiday lights, the Christmas shopping. Also, Thanksgiving is included in this. This is out of New York City, though, so you got to get to New York City. But really, really nice places. You're going to be walking distance from the Metro and the Danube in Budapest. In Prague, you're going to be staying walking distance of the Old Town Square, the Charles Bridge. This is only good until July 6th. You got to book it by then. But again, if you wait too long, it may be too late. So I would not wait. Find that on TravelZoo. And that is the last Dan's deal for this week. I want to thank our guests once again for joining us. Peter Friedfeld, he's the founder of Aspire Eyewear. That's aspireeyewear.com. And also Dr. Bill Willix. He's the CEO and president of Enlightened Living right here in Boca Raton. I believe his website is a little shorter. Remember, elmedicine.com. You can find out about all his healthy alternatives of treating you and hopefully avoiding that cardiac surgery that he used to do. But I would recommend that you check him out at EL Medicine and Aspire Eyewear. Also, you can check us out on our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Golf and Travel Show. Like our page, and we will send you reminders so that you know who our guests will be each week. And, of course, next week we will be back with some more guests for you. I'm not sure who, but we'll let you know. I was just told by my engineer here we got another minute or two. Let me give you one quick travel story before we go. My favorite airline, Southwest, they are redoing the seats in up to 28 jets by the end of the year. I'm looking at a picture. Real modern looking, more spacious, recycled leather fabrics that they're going to be using, enhanced backs and bottoms for more comfort, more room to hold personal belongings, redesigned galleys that let the flight attendants work without carts, so that they can use trays instead of having carts in the aisle. Also, new uniforms. They've not been updated since 1996. I think it's time. And I'm looking at a picture of some of their female flight attendants, and they look just lovely. So their look is good as their humor, perhaps, because I love the jokes that they all tell on the flights. Great airline to fly, my absolute favorite. So Southwest, I recommend them. You should always check them out if you can. Hawaiian Airlines, one more quick story for you. First-class seats are now up for bid. They're auctioning unfilled first-class seats. This is something brand new. So if they've got any empty first-class seats, you could bid on them auction style a couple of days before your flight takes off. So that's a new way for them to raise some revenue. And rather than giving them away for free, they'll sell them to the highest bidder. So again, we will be back next week with more of the Golf and Travel Show. Look for us on Facebook, facebook.com, The Golf and Travel Show, and we'll talk to you again next week. Thanks for listening.
You have been listening to The Golf and Travel Show, hosted by Dan Shub, heard live every Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. on 1470 WWNN, and replayed every Sunday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 740 a.m. WSBR. Visit the show on Facebook and tune in next week. If you are in South Florida or traveling the world, hit 'em straight. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Me and my old lady ain't been getting along. Things don't get better, I'll soon be long gone. The situation is driving me insane. Somebody touch my coat and hat and my walking cane. Gotta put on my traveling shoes. Gotta put on my...
Whoa, a digital music player. Thanks, Mom.
Glad you like it. We can finally toss out that old massive stereo.
Mom, you can't just throw out electronics. They need to be recycled or donated.
Recycled? Like aluminum cans?
Yeah, you just go to greenergadgets.org, enter your zip code, and it tells you where the nearest certified recycling center is.
I knew that.
Okay, Mom.
Recycling electronics is as easy as buying them. Log on to greenergadgets.org to find electronics recycling options near you.
Let's talk about the X's and O's of family entertainment. Every parent in Florida knows the importance of being able to draw up an activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it.